morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and today's shout out goes to Over and Under 6832. Over and Under was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus wins the shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, with a review of a neat new drone, folks. This is the YLRC E88 EVO. Now, why am I interested in reviewing this little drone here? Well, look at it. It has brushless motors, but this thing only costs about $25, folks. This is the least expensive brushless motor drone that I've currently seen on the market. It's pretty darn cool for what it is. So let's go over it. Okay, again, I mentioned very inexpensive brushless motor drone. Looks like currently the mini drones that we're seeing on the market today, mini GPS drones, but this does not have a GPS in it, folks. Nor does it have a high quality camera on it. Not at the $25 price range. Don't expect that. But let's talk about it more. It only weighs 121 grams with its included battery. What does that mean? That means that this drone does not require registration in most countries, or remote ID either. However, it does have a camera, so for those countries that require registration of camera drones, that's going to come into play. It does have a camera. So it is a folding drone for maximum portability. Along with it, it comes with a carrying case that you can place the drone and all its accessories in here, also to help its portability for this particular drone. Now, the brushless motors that are on here are 1503 brushless motors. I'm starting to see a lot of these very inexpensive drones coming out with these 1503 brushless motors. I guess there must be a glut of them somewhere here, folks, but I'm seeing drones under $50. I've reviewed some of them here recently, but under $50. This one's under $30 with a brushless motor. So, the age of brushed motor drones is slowly but surely going away, folks. I got a feeling in the future we're going to see nothing but brushless motor drones. That'll be the standard from right about now on. Okay, let's just say that right now. Brushed motor drones are going to go away. We're going to see brushless motor drones. And why are brushless motor drones more important or more desirable? They're less likely to burn out. Okay, brushed motor drones, they'll work for a couple dozen flights, and then one of their motors will burn out and you got to replace it. That could be a hassle. Brushless motor drones are much more reliable, although you can still burn out the electronic speed controllers if you crash and you still try to give power to that motor. If it's stuck and can't move, you can burn out the electronic speed controllers. But in terms of longevity, if you fly it normally and gently, they should last a long time. Now, other thing about this particular drone that I like about it, it has an optical flow sensor in the belly. What is important about this optical flow? Well, what that does, folks, that's a little camera that looks below the drone, and based on what the drone sees below it, it uses that view to help automatically maintain a steady hover position instead of drifting away. Does it work all the time? Not really. Okay, I noticed indoor flights with this particular drone, it can drift, especially in low light. But if you take it outdoors in the sunlight, it actually works. It worked relatively well in a test flight in my front yard with this particular drone. But we'll demonstrate that, and I'll show you in the outdoor flights how the optical flow system actually performs. Now, it is powered by this little 3.7, well, it ain't little, but 3.7 volt, 1800 milliamp hour battery, charged through a micro USB port right there. This battery supposedly gives this drone about 7 to 10 minutes flight time. With these brushless motors, I'm going to say it's probably going to be closer to 7 minutes. We'll find out when we actually fly it outdoors, where I'll give it its full-time run. Now, let's talk about that camera. Again, this is a $25 drone, $26 drone. You're not going to get cinematography or, high quality camera in a $25 drone. In fact, this camera is not a high quality camera. It has a little 480p sensor in it, but the video from it is sent to your phone via Wi-Fi and then electronically enlarged through the drone's app to 1080p and record at 1080p at 20 frames per second directly onto your phone. The stills from this are also electronically enlarged to 8K, 7680 by 4320 pixels. Is there any advantage to enlarging that? No, none at all. It's just they can claim this is an 8K camera, but in reality, folks, it's just really a 480p sensor that is electronically enlarged in video to 1080p resolution video. It's okay, but again, you're not going to become a cinematographer with this particular drone. This drone will help you learn to fly. That's its basic point, folks. Again, my channel is meant for beginner pilots, mainly for beginner pilots, and this drone is sufficient to help you learn to fly if you're interested in drones. And I always recommend people start out with the cheapest drone you can, because everybody crashes, folks, and you don't want to crash that $1,000 expensive drone as a beginner pilot. Trust me, it's better to crash one of these cheapies and break this instead of an expensive drone. Now, the app, I mentioned the app briefly there. This uses the KY UFO app available on Play and on the App Store. And using that app, you can view the video directly to your phone and record that video directly to your phone, video and photos. Now, it uses common 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so that you don't have to worry about having a phone that has 802.11 and AC 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. That doesn't apply for this. This drone should work with most phones because it uses older 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about the controller. This controller supposedly gives you up to 150 meters range. These antennas are fake. They're not real antennas. Don't expect that also in a $25 drone. But 150 meters control range with the controller. Now, are you going to be able to view that FPV video out at 150 meters range? No. Okay. This is on the same frequency as the Wi-Fi of this drone, and that's going to interfere with the FPV video from the drone. So expect realistically to be able to see the video from the drone at about 30 to 50 meters, something in that range, and be able to record that. But if you do fly out to 100 meters, 150 meters, and you're going to be flying line of sight only, you're going to be not receiving video from the drone. So keep that in mind. Don't expect to be able to fly out 150 meters FPV with this particular drone. Again, you're only going to be able to get out about 30 to 50 meters realistically. So let's go over the buttons on the controller, by the way. I didn't go into that. First off, this is powered by 3 high-quality AA batteries from Dollar Tree on this. The controls on it, this button here is for rates that adjusts the speed of the drone, beginner, intermediate, and expert. This button here is for headless mode. I'm sorry, folks. I had a brain freeze there, but headless mode here, and that enables the drone to fly in any particular orientation. I'll demonstrate that here, probably here in the basement, but that is for beginner pilots, usually uses headless mode. It does have a calibration button, which you activate by pressing this button here. And this drone actually can do flips by pressing this button here and telling it which direction to flip. Now, it only does right and left flips. I tried it before here. It doesn't do forward and back flips, but right and left flips are more or less fun also, so it's no big loss there. This stick here is for throttle, up and down of the drone, and this is for rotating the drone left and right. Yaw, they call that. And this is for pitch, for pitching the drone forward so it can fly forward. And this is for roll. It tilts the drone right and left. Other buttons on this, these are trim buttons. If there's any drifting of the drone, you can adjust that right and left, opposite the direction that the drone is drifting by doing momentary presses of these buttons until the drone stops drifting. And if the drone is drifting forward and back, you can counter that with these trim buttons here until the drone stops drifting. These 2 buttons here are automatic takeoff and automatic landing. And you start the drone by bringing both sticks down and out, like so. And then you can do the automatic takeoff. And this button here is for on and off of the controller. So let's go over what you get in the box. Again, you get this nice little carrying case for all the drone in it, for the drone and its accessories. You get the drone itself. You get 1 or 2 batteries, depending on which version you buy. I highly recommend getting the 2 battery version. I think this only costs like additional $4 to $5. You're probably going to want to continue flying. So, after 1 battery depletes its charge, this will help you stay in the air for another 7 to 10 minutes. So I highly recommend getting the bundled version with the second battery, because you will not be able to buy these separately in the future. Trust me on that. There's shipping, shipping restrictions that come into play. So it's best to have this bundled with the drone if you want it. You get this little charging cable for charging this particular battery. I recommend using a wall charger to charge this. 1800 milliamp hours getting up there. So a good 2 amp wall charger should charge this in a reasonable amount of time versus using the USB port in your computer, which might take many hours to charge this particular battery. You get the controller. You get a little screwdriver here for removing the propellers on the drone, and also removing the little screw that comes in the back of this. You don't need that screw. I guess that's a European safety feature, required European safety feature. It's not really required here in the U.S. But I usually remove those screws and just throw them away. Other things you get a full spare set of propellers, and you get these little propeller guards that you could put on for indoor flying. Do not put these on for outdoor flying because they act like Christmas tree ornament hooks. If this drone ends up in the tree, you probably won't be able to get it down if you have these installed. So that's, oh, and also, I forgot to mention, you get the instruction manual. It's in Chinese and English, along with a little instruction manual, basic instruction manual for the app and where to download the app. So that's what you get in the box. Let's take it for a flight, folks, and see how it flies. So hope you enjoy these flights. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and welcome to the test flight of the E88 EVO drone. Okay, to turn this on, we just need to first make sure all our arms are straight, but press and hold this on-off switch like so until you hear the ESC's chirp. Then turn on the controller, and then bind it by up and down. Okay, next thing I need to do is look for the drone's Wi-Fi signal on my phone and connect to it the same way that you would connect to home Wi-Fi. No password required, so hold on while I do that, folks. Okay, again, the camera on this isn't the greatest in the world anyway, so I don't care. So let's start the recording though, video recording. See if I can start it hitting the app. Video recording is started, and then hitting automatic takeoff. And let's see how well this holds its position out here, folks. There's a wind from the right there. Let's go to a higher rate. Come back here. It drifted with the wind, but let's see if I can get it to stay in its position again. No. Whoa. No. So right now, fighting wind is not this little drone's big feature. Okay, there's a wind coming by 5 miles per hour. Can I go to a higher rate? That's the highest rate, and it can't fight it's about 8 miles per hour wind, I'm guessing. So we're gonna land it right there and hit, where's that emergency stopping the motors. What I'm gonna do, folks, is we're gonna do a calibration, gyro calibration, see if that'll help us any. But going back over here to the pad, and what I'm going to do is tilt it this way and then hit the gyro cal. See if that helps it. See if that gives us any advantage in fighting the wind. Okay, automatic takeoff again. Let's see if the optical flow is working now. So what I did is gave it, recalibrated the gyro, but now it seems to be working. The window is cut down a bit, so this is not a high wind flyer. You're going to need to have relatively low wind with this, but with that in mind, since it's flying itself now, let's get in the camera, sync it up, and say, I like my shirt today, folks. I do have a tie-dye on today underneath my jacket. So yeah, this is a beginner's $25 learn to fly drone. It's not the best drone in the world. That camera is definitely not the best camera in the world. But with that in mind, let's see if we can fly it around FPV. Actually, you know what I haven't tried yet? Let's let it drift and see if it'll stop drifting. Let's see how high we can go since I finally got the optical flow system seemingly to be able to work. Going up about 10-15 feet right there. It's holding its position. Going up about 20 feet. Still holding its position. Now again, this is a bright sunny day. There's sunlight here. Indoors, this doesn't work very well, that optical flow. Outdoors, yeah, it does work after you do a gyro cal. Always do a gyro cal before you take off on a flat level surface. So I'm going to go a little bit higher, about 30 feet up. And it's still holding its position relatively well. It's drifting a bit now. There must be a lot of wind there. So coming back down out of that wind, it's too much wind right there. So, okay, so it held its position. Now let's see how it does as an FPV flyer.
how much range can we get out of this? Going forward over there by the ball field into the wind, because always go into the wind if you can, because if something goes wrong, the wind will blow it back, or hopefully blow it back to you. But I'm getting good range out there. I'm about 50 meters out, and I'm still getting video. Let's turn it back toward me. Turn it back toward me. There I am. It's actually working well. I'm surprised. And again, I'm just over there about 50 meters away, and it's holding its position. So let's go back, come forward toward me, flying overhead. Dang, I'm surprised that this $25 drone can do that. Surprised. How far can I? Oh, no, I ain't going over there. Is there kids over at the playground? I see my wife and dog over there. See if I can go over toward them. Okay, better not. Coming back toward me. That wind was picking up over there. I'm in a spot over here that it's kind of shielded from the wind by those trees, but there is definitely a wind up there today, folks. But coming back down. Okay, let's bring it up close. Let's see if we can get it to hover. Coming back toward me again. Back over here again. The wind is up from my right now, about 7 miles per hour. And that optical flow system seems to have stopped working in that wind, so the wind's way too strong for it right now. So pulling forward. See if I can get the optical flow working again by another calibration of the gyros. Oh, there we go. I think it's working now. Oh, it was working, and then the wind picked up again. Can I get it back on the pad and recalibrate those gyros? Landing, 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 landing. Okay, we'll do another calibration of the gyros. See if that helps. Because what I want to do the remainder of the flight here, gyro cal. First, let's stop that video and get another video, start another video. Stop video. Then start, I want to do a takeoff because I want to do photos. Let's see if it'll hold its position. See if I can, okay, there we go. It's holding its position now. I want to do some photos. Take some snapshots with it. Okay. There's one. There's a second photo. Again, they're really washed out here. So that camera is a bit washed out. But notice that the lights are blinking on this. And let me start that video recording again and sync up the camera. But all in all, for 25 bucks, it's a reasonably good drone. Fly it on low wind days, though, if you really want that optical flow system to be working properly. Okay, I just turn it to the right there, and notice that it goes, that optical flow starts to go wonky. So it only seems to be working if you're pointed in the direction that you took off from. Okay, you go, okay, and that's the flight time there. It seems to be that only working properly in the direction that it was pointed at takeoff. If you rotate the drone, it gets a little wonky. So all in all, you know, for 25 bucks, yeah, it's okay. So, but don't expect cinematography out of this drone, and don't expect it to perform as advertised in all conditions, because again, once you turn it a bit, it starts to drift. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out.
Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.